because are you guys still with me?
Yes, sir.
Alright. This particular aspect is very, very important because for you to come up with a logo or a banner or a book or whatever the design project is, you have to think deeply because this design thinking, it depends on how creative you are. You can't just go online and start copying design. That won't work because that is not good enough for you to go online and copy designs. You have to come up with your own designs. Do you understand? That's why I'll take my time to explain the concept of design thinking and critical thinking in design. So I'll talk on what is design thinking, the 5 stages of design thinking, improving your creativity, and also critical reasoning for designers. So I'll make this class as brief as possible because I know that today is Sunday and you guys should be resting. Yeah, that is understandable. So the next slide, we have what is design thinking. This is a design methodology that provides solution-based approach to solving problems. It is extremely useful, as I said earlier on. It is very, very important for you to come up with its own designs instead of copying designs. It is extremely useful in tackling complex problems that are unknown by understanding the human needs involved, by framing the problem in human-centric ways, by creating many ideas in brainstorming sessions. It is a key component that empowers innovation and creativity. Then also understanding these 5 stages of design thinking will empower you as a designer, as a graphic designer. Possibly you are transitioning into other design fields. Understanding these 5 stages is very, very important because it is transferable to other career fields in design, just like UI or UX design. These 5 principles will also work for that particular career. And also, design thinking methods in order to solve complex design problems you encounter. So, what are the stages? The first one is empathizing. Can you guys still hear me? Hello, guys.
Yes, we
Yes, we
can
can.
hear you.
Alright. So the first stage of design thinking is empathizing. This empathizing actually deals with you understanding your customers. So over the years, I normally come up with a questionnaire. So I send the link to them. That link contains a questionnaire regarding their brand name. But I noticed that me speaking with them, that calling them on my mobile phone is more preferable because with that they tend to know who they are talking with and there is this kind of trust between us that this guy they just spoke to me, something like that. So empathize is at the art of design thinking and you must understand your users. Must understand your users' needs, their problems and challenges and challenge those assumptions to create new ideas that solve their problems creatively. So empathy is a pillar of design thinking process. In order to improve your visual journey, designers need to put themselves into the target user's shoes to know their needs and observe their behavior interacting with similar systems. So let me try to show you some of the things I do. Let me try to show you the things I have in my questionnaire. Can you guys see my screen? Can you guys see my screen?
Yes, sir, we can see your screen.
So as you can see here, you can see brand questionnaire guide. So I tend to ask them, the first thing I ask them is their brand name. As you can see, the services they render, states your vision, mission, and core values. Would you like your brand logo to be represented by a symbol or typeface? iconic. So after asking them this question, I tend to tell them the meaning of the iconic or the symbol logos. That is, logos that are represented with icons like Nike, and while wordmark logos are represented with typography like Coca-Cola. I tend to give them options like this because some clients actually know what they want. Yes, some will tell you that I want an icon to represent my logo, and some will tell you that I want you to use a word mark. While some will tell you that I want you to come up with something unique and something creative. So it depends on their answer here that will determine the next question. So you can see here, state any symbol or element or image that you most prefer to represent your brand. For example, now, if that person, let's say the customer is a fashion brand, some will tell you that I want a particular this, I want a particular that to appear on my logo. I want a particular this, I want something to appear on that logo. That is, I want my users and my customers to see that thing first on that logo. So that is the reason for this particular question. Then also, you have to tell us the colors you most prefer to represent your brand. During our color psychology class, I told you that some clients actually know what they want, you know the colors they want to use. So you have to follow that color strictly. Then when you know that that color is not going well, that you want to blend well with that brand, then you have to educate them on which color to use. So that is the main reason for this question, asking them the colors they want to use for their projects. Then also, if you have any reason for the choice of the above colors, let us know. Can you see here? I try to put myself in their shoes, understanding why they prefer that color. So if the meaning they provided is meaningful and understandable, then possibly I should go ahead with that color. Then if that color is not suitable, then possibly I will educate them too. And also, yeah, ask them for their target audience. That is, what class of people you render your services to. That is, kids, adults, elderly, and others. So yeah, I'm asking for their target audience. Then yeah, to what feeling do you want your brand to leave with your audience? And also, who are your competitors? For example, now, some clients, they know their competitors, you know who they are battling with. While others, some, they have no idea of their competitors, that maybe possibly they are new to the market. While some, they know who they are competing with. Some will even tell you that, check out these people, check out this, check out that, see how they do their stuff. Then possibly, I want something like that, then build on that designs. And also, how do you want your business to stand out from competitors? So this question is also very, very important. And I also ask them that any other deliverables you want, aside from maybe possibly the clients can come to me that they want a logo. And also with that logo, they want an ID card or a shared design or each fly. Depends on what they want. So they can just select here and enter any other deliverables that is not here. They can just put it here as orders and enter whatever it is they want. Are you guys clear with me?
Yes, we
Yes,
are.
we are.
All right, all right. So that's it for empathizing. Like I said earlier on, over the years, I know that this thing is more stereotyped. So I try to give them a call, talk to them through phone call, because that is more personal. They tend to prefer that at times. Yes, they love it at times when I give them a call, asking them what they need, what I'll be needing for their logos. So that's it for empathizing. So I'll move right to the next stage, which is define the problem. So after the research, after asking them what they want, so after the research, after asking them what they want, then I can now go ahead to define the problem I want to solve. So during this stage, you put together the information gathered during the empathize stage. That is what I have on that documents. Either I'm giving them a questionnaire or I give them a phone call. Possibly that phone call too, I can record it. So maybe for later, I can reference it later when I'm doing the design. So this is where you will analyze and synthesize your observations in order to define the core problems. The design stage will allow designers in your team, possibly if you are more than one in that team, to gather great ideas to establish features, functions, and any other elements that will allow them to solve the problem. So that's it for the design stage. I just have to start interpreting what I got from them during the empathizing stage. So that's what the design stage is all about. And also we have ideating. This ideating is just that I try to come up with you trying to come up with possible solutions. As you try to sketch up things, try to maybe you are sketching it out or you are doing it on your PC. Depends on how you want to do it. But this stage is just coming up with possible solutions. So this is the stage designer starts generating ideas from the information gathered in previous stages. There are several methods of ideation technique like brainstorming, what's possible idea, and even whiteboarding. So that's also part of brainstorming too. And also brainstorming and what's possible idea sessions are typically used to stimulate free thinking and to expand the problem space. It is important to get as many ideas of problem solutions as possible at the beginning of the ideation phase. The actual reasons why you should be sketching is just that for you to come up with ideas as many as possible. You don't have to get them perfect. Can you see my screen? See something like this? Can you see this sketch? Hello guys.
We can hear you, sir.
Alright, can you guys see this sketch?
Yes, you can see the sketch.
So the sketch does not have to be perfect at first. Just try to come up with something something you can work on. As many as possible. So that's the main aim of you sketching because it's to generate many ideas. So from that many ideas you generated, you can now start filtering them out. Start selecting the ones you want. That is the one that perfectly resonates with what you are designing for. If I just zoom in here, you can see you have something like manufacturing. That is, this sketch is all about manufacturing. You have a gradual step, acronym diverse, the building rules. So these are the values I'm working against to get all these sketches. So that's it for the ideation stage. You have to come up with possible ideas. Start coming up with sketches. Maybe you are using a pencil or a paper. It depends on whatever works for you. So the next stage is prototyping. So this is a stage whereby designers will produce a number of inexpensive and scaled down versions of the product. So possibly me after sketching, then I have to drag that sketch to whichever software. Look at this sketch now. So I have to drag this sketch to whichever software I'm convenient with, either Adobe Illustrator or Corel Draw or possibly Photoshop. It depends on which one you are cool with. Pick up, send this picture to that software, then then start tracing out the things you have on the sketches. So that's how prototyping works. Then prototypes may be shared and tested within the team itself, in other in other departments or in a small group of people outside the design team. So at times your design team can be very large. For big companies that have a very large design team. So to try to they come together, then analyze the prototypes they have on ground. So this stage is an experimental stage to generate the best possible solutions for each problems identified in the previous stage. So prototyping is just in a way similar to the ideation stage because you are still coming up with possible solutions. You don't have your final designs yet, so you are just trying to generate ideas upon ideas. Then also you have testing. So at this stage now, you've gotten your design you want to use. So you now start testing. So at this stage, designers rigorously test the complete product using the best solutions identified during the prototyping stage. So each sketches you are now going with, you now start testing them against your prior research, your prior questioning of your users, what they want. Is this particular brand going well with what they want? Then you start testing. Maybe you are scaling it down or scaling it up, trying to see maybe they work on all the deliverables for that particular project. This is the final stage of the five-stage model, but in an iterative process. Even during this stage, alterations and refinements are made in order to rule out problem solution. Even while testing, you can even see that this particular design is not working well. is not fitting what you want, then possibly you can trash it out and generate another one. Then also these 5 stages is not always linear. It varies with designers. You can see a designer picking one first above the other. You understand? So the best is just for you to understand these stages, then utilize it whichever we think works for you. So like I said, the non-linear, the ones I explained earlier on, they are the linear, like this from the empathizing to the addition, from addition to empathizing to define, from define to addition, from addition to testing, then testing to prototyping. These are the linear way, but I told you they are not, they varies with designers. So we also have a non-linear nature of thinking. So in the previous slide, the design thinking process are linear. That is one leading to the other. But in practice, the process is carried out in a more flexible and non-linear fashion. So it is important to know that the 5 stages are not always sequential. That is, they do not have to follow a specific order. And also, they can be repeated iteratively. So for as long as you are not getting what you want, you can keep on iterating until you get your desired design. Are you guys following me?
Yes, sir, we're following you.
All right.
Yes, sir. Yes. I follow.
All right. So you can see a diagram here, a non-linear process. That is empathize. You can move from empathize to define. So after defining, you can go to ideation, then after ideation, prototyping, then testing. So for the non-linear, you can even from defining, you can go to prototype straight. So it depends on what works. So after prototyping, you can even know that you can find out that that design is not working well. You can now go back to ideation all over again. Then keep on iterating like that until you get a desired design solution. So that's it for the 5 stages of design thinking. Then we have improving your creativity. See, the thing is, the more you see, the more you can design. The more good designs you see. I told you in one of our previous classes that the more good designs you see, the more you are as a designer. If you keep on seeing work designs every day, so gradually, progressively, you start designing work designs. So do you understand that what I'm trying to say? So the thing is, just keep on seeing good designs almost every day. Then you find out that with time, your designs will be better. And the first thing there is practice. It may sound obvious, but practice is essential and crucial for creativity. Are you can you call yourself a designer if you don't practice? You have to test things out. So by testing things out, you have to practice them first. So the more you practice, the more you are proficient with designs, the more you are good with that design software. Do you understand? I told you earlier on that each design software has their own power and their pros and cons. So it depends on what you are using the design software for. And also you also have to discover quality and quantity. Creativity is not about perfection. You have to be, you have to know how to think very well. Think creatively. It's very vast in knowledge. Do you understand? And also collaborate with others. As a beginner student, you are still starting up. So the best way, one of the best way for you to learn is collaborate with your peers. Gang up, then come up with something good. So I think this worked for me when I was starting up in design because then I joined a group like that on WhatsApp. So me joining that group on WhatsApp, I tend to meet a lot of designers. So we collaborated and all. So with time, I'm better. I'm even better now. Very, very better now. I'm more like an expert now to see. So then also experiments with different styles. Keep on testing. Nothing is perfect. Yeah, there's not you can never get something perfect. You just have to keep on experimenting. Possibly this design is good today, then possibly next tomorrow you can even see that there's something wrong with this design. So that's how design is. Design is vast. It changes with time. That's why you see most big brands now they are rebranding. Yes, they are rebranding. And also have confidence. You have to be confident in yourself that I can do this, I can do that. With that, if there is no self-confidence, you are not going anywhere. You have to be confident of your skills. For you to be confident of your skills, you have to practice a lot. Do you understand? Practice very well. And also at times, as a creative, it is normal. You experience creative blocks. Creative blocks is very normal. Even senior designers too experience something like that. At times too, I do. Can you guys still hear me?
Yes, we can. Yes, we can.
Awesome,
Yes, we
awesome.
can hear
So,
you.
so at times I experience creative block. So the thing I normally do is just that I just drop whatever it is I'm working on for that month. I drop it a little bit, then I go on, I do something that's interesting, something aside from design. I play football, I watch football, something like that. Even it depends on what works for you. Just find something doing instead of doing the regular designing thing. You can go on a walk, you can eat a snack, read a book, take a nap, or do something of your interest. Just try to refresh your brain. So after some time, taking time off designing, you can now go back to that design. You can now come up with design concept or design stuff after that refresh. So these are the basic things you have to do for you to improve your creativity. And a lot more, possibly there are a lot more than this, but these are the basic ones you have to do to improve your creativity. Then also you have critical reasoning for designers. So creativity is like a muscle. It must be stretched and challenged, and occasionally pushed past its comfort zone. So I should tell you that you can't know how creative you are until you challenge your creativity. So for you to challenge that creativity, you have to test out stuff. You have to see a lot of things associated to that stuff. Do you understand? Test out a lot of things, stretch your thinking ability, and for you to stretch your thinking ability, there are some things you have to put into consideration. So over the years, I adopt a critical reasoning principle called reasoning from first principle. I think you guys should have heard something like this before, and most of you should be hearing it for the first time. Yeah. So regarding first principle of thinking, it's just that the search for first principle is not unique to philosophy. That is all great thinkers do it. That is, if you are a creative, you must at least question down things to their basic. So reasoning by first principle removes impurity of assumptions and conventions. What remains is the essential, that is, just you try to chunk off the things you are not needing. It is one of the best mental models. It is one of the best mental models you can use to improve your thinking, because the essentials allow you to see where reasoning by analogy might lead you astray. The major concept of this reasoning by first principle is asking a lot of questions. That is, asking why that thing is like that. Just like asking the reason for why. So designing with first principle in mind. So first principle design thinking is what allows us to innovate. The first question we ask ourselves when embarking on a project is what are we trying to do? So that question is very, very important. What are we trying to do? Maybe a particular customer approaches you, a particular client approaches you that he wants a brand identity design for his company. So the first question you ask yourself is, why am I embarking on this project? What am I trying to do with this project? So after you asking that question, then together with the clients, you now start doing carrying out the basic stuff. That is empathizing. After empathizing, possibly you define the stuff you find out after empathizing. Then after defining, then you can now start ideating, coming up with possible solutions. And after ideating, that is coming up with possible solutions, you now start prototyping. And after prototyping, now test whatever it is. If you think that that particular design suits what your clients want, then possibly you go ahead and deliver it. But if it is not working, then you go ahead, you keep on iterating until you get your desired design solution. Can you guys hear me?
Yes, sir, we can hear you.
Awesome. Any other person? Can any other person hear me?
Yes, I can hear you.
Okay. So the thing is, we make our research as well as make use of available technologies, but our intent is always to create something unique. So reasoning by first principle is just asking, breaking down difficulties, asking the questions why? Why is this stuff like this? And why are they using it like this? Why must I do this? Why must I do that? And over the years, it has been working for me, working very well for me. So as a newbie designer, the best approach to learning would be to learn best practices in design while using the techniques of first principle reasoning to understand why they are established best practices. So for the first start for this particular academy, I told you that I'll take my time to explain the best practice, that is the principles and the elements, the things you have to know regarding design before we start the actual design, that is the practical class, which will be towards the ending. That is, as from next month, as from next class, we start our practical design classes because I've taken my time to explain the basics and the elements of design studio. So best practices are standards derived from the work and study of wonderful individuals, like elements of design, principle of design, color psychology, typography, and the likes. So they've gone through different tests to prove their assumptions to and craft a method for best application. I think the best practices are like that because some researchers, some researchers have taken their time to find out why things should be that, why things are actually the way they are, why we are using this color, why this color means a particular psychology, and why this type is being used for this design, and possibly the elements of design. Those people have actually taken their time to find out why they are like that. So they tend to reason from first principle, pinning out the reasons why you should study color, why you should study the principle of design, why you should study the elements of design. So you as a newbie designer now, reasoning from first principle will be to understand the best practices in design, which I've actually taken my time to do. And also, always remember that if you are going to achieve at least 10 times your growth, you have to break free from the urge of using already existing solutions all the time and try to come up with something innovative. I told you earlier on that it is not good and not advisable for you to just go online and copy someone's design. It is not good. You have to be original, you have to be raw. That is, use your own initiative to come up with your own design. And for you to come up with your own design, you have to understand the basic steps of design thinking. And you have to be very adept in your thinking. You have to think very well. You understand? And for you to think very well, you can use the one I mentioned in this particular class, that is reading from first principle, asking the basic questions, pinning it down to the simplest, that is the last question you can possibly ask for that particular project. Do you guys understand what I'm trying to say? Hello, guys.
Yes, I am with you.
Yes, I will understand.
Awesome, awesome, awesome. So, do you guys understand what I'm trying to say? Do you understand the reasoning from first principle?
Yes, sir. We understand, sir.
Awesome.
Yes, we do.
So, I think that's all for this class. Yesterday, I was in your meeting for the brand identity presentation. Do you have any team lead here?
Yes, sir. Yes, sir. I'm one of the team leads for Team 8.
Ultimate. What's your project on?
Binance. The inspiration is Binance. Our name is Vesty.
Vesty. All right. I told you yesterday that your design is actually cool. You combine some polygons with letter V, right?
Yeah.
Awesome. Okay, go ahead, Esther.
I'm the team lead for Team 1, Team Lux,
Team Lux.
the
Did you
first
guys
presentation.
present yesterday, right?
Yeah, The presentation
Okay.
with the cube
Okay,
logo.
the key. Okay. That's actually fine. But you can still come up with more concepts. The design,
Okay.
the type you use is actually okay. But the thing is, maybe later on, I'll try to show you how you can document your stuff very well. That is,
Okay, please.
you can
Yeah.
document it more professionally. Do you understand?
Okay.
Because what I saw yesterday is documentation is not that good, but that your presentation is you did that very well, I must say. But the
Okay.
documentation is not that good. Do you understand?
Yes, sir.
So over the class, you understand more.
Yes,
So do
sir.
you guys have any question for this class?
Yes, I do have a question. I wanted to ask if you can please explain a bit about branding pattern. I don't really understand that.
Band patterns, right?
Brand pattern, yeah, brand patterns.
Band pattern is just like giving your band more visual appeal because at times you tend to use that your visual pattern. Maybe for example now, for companies now, that their brand pattern, they can use it maybe possibly some use it as the background of their designs. And mostly it tends to couple it with their stationaries. For example now, there's a particular brand that uses their brand pattern as a background of design they use. And mostly if you visit their physical office, you can see their brand pattern all over the way, and possibly they use it too for their social media. And you coming up with a brand pattern is just to complement the designs you have already. Your brand pattern should complement your logo because that your brand pattern is cutting from your logo. Maybe you are using some elements on your logo to come up with a pattern. Do you understand? For example, now for team 6, they use something like a letter V and combine it with a polygon. So from that polygon and letter V, you can come up with a brand pattern. Maybe you can pick letter V and duplicate it and possibly pick that polygon, duplicate it horizontally and vertically. In a creative and aesthetic way, you can come up with a brand pattern. So brand pattern just complements whatever you have as your logo. Do you understand, Esther?
Yes, I do. I don't know. Is it possible that you can just show us a sample so I can really get
Okay.
exactly how
Okay.
it's supposed to look like or how it
Let
is?
me let me show you something. Can you see a pattern like? Can you see something like this? Can you see my screen?
Yes, I can see your screen. Oh, okay,
So
okay. Yeah.
see the initial logo. Can you see my screen? I'm coming.
Yes, I'm seeing your screen.
I'm coming. I want to show you something. As you can see, this is the initial logo. The Samsung Tan Eternal Collection. Can you see the logo here?
Yes, I can see it.
So you can see the pattern for this particular sweater. You can see the way I use the pattern. I got that particular pattern from the logo. See the pattern here. You can see I just try to maybe I change the direction for that logo. I made it horizontally. Do you understand? Then duplicated it vertically and horizontal. So I came up with a pattern using that brand's logo. Do you understand? And at times
Yes, sir.
you find that some brands are not using any elements on their logo. They tend to come up with maybe after knowing their values, maybe they are more African. They come up with after knowing their brand value, maybe authentic, something like that. They are bold and the like. So they tend to use something related to their brand value. At times too, some brands will not make use of anything on their logo for their brand pattern. As you can see, something like this, I used the brand logo to generate a pattern. And that pattern will be used across almost across all their stationary designs.
Yeah, I
But it
understand you.
depends. Yeah. Can you see the stuff I'm talking about?
Yes, I can see it.
So it varies. Your brand pattern should not be limited to a particular thing. It varies and it depends on how creative that designer is. Do you understand? It can be
Yes.
anything, but naturally, brand patterns complement your designs, complement the things you have, and possibly they can be used on your social media and across all your stationery. So that's just what brand pattern is all about. Is your
Okay.
question answered?
Yes, it is. So that means we don't have to use the logo to create the brand pattern, but just the brand of the what we're creating, right? It must not be the logo
Definitely.
exactly.
Yes, at times too, it can be logo and possibly too some designers use the logo. You don't have to use the logo for the brand pattern. You can come up with something more creative aside from your logo. But as long as something you're coming up with is still aligning with your brand values and your brand vision, then it should work. Do you
Okay, I
understand?
understand. Yeah, I understand. Thank you so much.
Awesome. You're welcome. Any other question?
Yes, sir. Yes, sir. Concerning our logo, diversity, you were saying something like we should
Yes.
not break the polygon. Like we should just make the V inside the polygon, right?
No, I told you that all the lines you are using for that polygon, let them be equal lines. Because you can you hear me?
Yes, sir. Yes, sir. Yes, sir. Yes, sir.
That is your strokes should be uniform. If you are using 2 pixels or 3 pixels, let that be across your design. Do you understand? It makes it looks more cleaner and more simpler that way. Sure you grab. Do you grab what I'm
Oh,
trying to say?
okay, okay, okay. Oh, understand, understand, understand. Thank you very
Awesome.
much. Thank you very much.
Welcome.
Yes.
So any other question? I don't think I have any tasks for you. Do you guys have any
Yes, sir.
other
Yes, sir.
questions?
Yes, sir. Concerning the logo concept in general, can we have a brief or can we have a resources from you, sir?
The logo concepts.
Even if it's possible to even have the branding on how we can do it correctly, so we can adjust and make adjustments
And we
and
can just use it to make an adjustment.
Okay, the thing is, you can just pick one. You know that you can't pick all the whole briefs. Do you understand? You can just pick one of the briefs, then work on it together. Do you understand?
we can pick group one's brief, please.
Which one?
Group one, the one that we have to create the game.
Okay, what's your project? What's your project about? The
Our
game,
project,
ba?
our project is about creating a gaming platform for
Okay,
Web3,
okay.
where that
So
we
left
can.
to me now. Left to me now. If I'm to embark on such a project, the first thing is after talking with my clients, after empathizing with my clients, possibly I now know the questions, I know the things needed. Can you guys hear me?
Yes, I can
Yes,
hear
we
you,
can. Yes,
sir.
we can.
So I'll just go on platform like Behance. So I think I have something related here. I'll go on platform on Behance. Can you guys see my screen?
Yes, we can see your screen.
So I'll go to platform like Behance to get inspiration. So I'll just put a game branding logo here. Then search for possible examples. Can you see some examples here? So
Yes,
let's
yes,
say
we can. Yes,
I'm
we can.
going, let's say I want something like this. Can you see this particular logo?
Yes, yes, yes. Glassy.
Can you
Yes, we
see?
can see it. Yes.
Can you see the presentation? Blazer. They have later is a computer club in blah 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 blah. Expensive computers equipped with modern. Then the task. The challenge is to create a minimalist logo and an identity that will distinguish the brand from competition and identify it. The solution. Can you see the way the logo is presented? Can you see the way they presented something like this? This is letter G. And this is the L. The solid color which is black is the L. Can you see stuff like this? But the first thing I'll go online to search for inspirations. Knowing that I'm not copying what I'm seeing there. So I'm just getting inspired with what I'm seeing. Can you see the way the document is? Can you see? So possibly these are their stationaries, their t-shirt designs using their logos. Can you see their banners? Maybe for their social medias. Then also you can check on all
This
others.
is wonderful, sir. Omo.
Yeah, that's it. You just have to keep on. I told you earlier that the more good designs you see, the more better you are. Then automatically you see something like this, you can't come up with something very bad. Definitely the thing should align with something like this. Esther, are you still there?
Yes, I'm seeing it. I'm seeing it.
Okay.
Yeah.
See something like this. Or arcade or something like that. See that presentation. Can you see? See their grids. See their mark construction. So later on, I'll still teach you how to use these grids using Adobe Illustrator. I still have a class on it, so I'll still teach you. So look at something like this. Can you see? Look at the way their color palettes. Look at the presentation. You can see that something like this is top notch and more professional. Can you guys see it?
Yes, we can.
Yes,
Yes,
we
we can.
can see it. I
Yeah.
don't
See
I,
that
like
type.
this presentation
Right.
like this. Is it that they did it on Figma?
You can use any software. I told you it depends on the software you're convenient with. You can do it on Figma. You can also do it on Corridor. You can do it on Photoshop. You can do it on Adobe Illustrator. So the thing is, some of these elements, like this flag now, it is a mock-up. So after getting the picture now, you can now drag it to any software. You are doing the documentation on. Do you grab this
Okay.
particular flag
Yes,
Yeah.
is
yes,
a
sir. Yes, sir.
mock-up. So you can just save it as a picture, then drag it to that software. Likewise, this chair too. This red chair is a mock-up too. So I'll still show you how to do that mock-up too. When we are
Okay,
doing
sir.
in our next class, we'll be talking on logos. So I'll teach you how to do this mockup, how to download mockups, and possibly there are some mockups you have to use for some brands. You understand? You can't tell me maybe your client is selling shoes now, it's a fashion brand, and you're not using a mockup like this. You know that this kind of mockup will not work. Do you understand?
Yes, sir,
Yes,
we
sir. Yes,
do.
sir. Yes, sir.
Yeah. So you can see the typeface they use, Montserrat. You can see the explanation. The family, Montserrat is a family of fonts. It's a typeface. You have the thin lights, regular, medium, and the lights. Look at their sweater designs. Can you see designs like this?
Yeah, some points.
Wow, wow, wow. This makes sense. Oh,
Can you see this one too?
yes, sir.
See their brand guides. See something like this. See their websites. You can even see that they are using their logos here. Their logo is
Yeah.
red. So
Yes,
this
yes,
is
yes.
how the thing will be on their websites. Do you understand? So they are trying to tell you that maybe you are the developer now or the programmer. So this is how they want their logo to be on that website. So going forward, you can see look at this mockup. Look at this bag mockup. So this bag too is a mockup. You can even see their Slack. Look at their Slack channel. Look at the way they want it to be. So that's just it. That's just it. You have tons of designs that you can check out. So I told you I'm the designer. I will come up. I will check Behance or possibly I will check Dribble. I will check Pinterest for inspirations. I'm not copying their designs. I'm just checking them out. You grab. Look at
Yes,
something
sir.
like this too. Look at something like this. So presentation varies. It differs with the brand. It differs with the brand needs and what that particular client or that particular person you're working with wants. So I think I told you that maybe for the next class, we sample the group one logos. Try to come up with concepts.
Okay.
Uh, hello, sir. Good afternoon, sir. Good afternoon, sir. Hello, sir. Can you hear me, sir?
Yes, loud and clear, loud and clear. We can hear you. But I don't know whether the
Oh,
network
okay,
is
sir. Okay, sir. This is Godson, Team 7. Our logo presentation yesterday too was something similar to the arcade is just displayed now. However, we were advised to use a mascot. So that's why I was wondering, because I was looking at the sample you showed now. It was somewhat very close to what we presented yesterday, and we were advised to use a mascot that it will be far better. So I just need your second opinion on that. Hello, Mr. Azan.
Hello, guys.
No question for me. No question for me.
All right, guys. Take care. We see you next class. Have fun.
Thank you very much, sir. I really
Okay,
appreciate
thank
you. More
you.
knowledge and wisdom. Thank you so
Thank you,
much.
Thank
sir.
you so
Welcome.
much.
God bless
Welcome.
you. We
Bye-bye.
love you.
Thank you,
Attendance,
sir.
attendance.
Oh,
It's,
it's true, attendance.
it's on that. It's on the chatting aspect.